Deliciously with Ara. Now we're gonna make fried tteokbokki. So tteokbokki is actually one of Korea's favorite snacks, or actually it means the rice cake. As you can see here, we can get this in Korean groceries, and sometimes we have two variants. One is purely flour or one is purely rice. So it really depends on what. Sometimes it's a little bit of yellowish in color. It doesn't really matter as long as the shape is like this, and both have a little bit of a different textures when you bite it, but still we can cook it the same way. So here I have our tteokbokki, or our rice cake, our tteok I mean, and we're gonna make a tteokbokki but on a very different version. Probably most of the time we know, like, you know, the one with a soupy, like a saucy one, but today we're gonna fry it and make it very dried. So this is one of also a popular Korean street food, so I hope you enjoy cooking with my recipe and try this fried tteokbokki. So of course our main ingredients are rice cake. Normally, as we cannot access directly from Korea and we normally have our only resources to get from Korean groceries, they normally deliver it or ship it in your different areas, like frozen ones. So when you get the frozen ones, it's not really good to cook it right away because it will crack as they are suddenly on the temperature change. So try to defrost it on a room temperature, or leave it outside, and or soak it in water when it's really frozen. So now I have here defrosted enough in my room temperature for probably, I've had it out for like an hour, and now we're gonna have to boil this, slightly blanch it, so because when we fry it, it's not gonna be so tough later on. So now I'm gonna boil some water. So now my water is boiling. I'm gonna be blanching my rice cake or tteok. So this is actually 500 grams. And we're probably gonna blanch it for like 2 to 3 minutes. So around after 2 to 3 minutes, we're gonna drain this off. Now you don't really have to boil it. You can actually soak them in hot water if you prefer it that way. Either way, just give it a little bit of a hot bath before we cook it or fry it later on. So now after I've drained my rice cake that I've given a hot bath with, I'm gonna put it on a big mixing bowl, and we're actually gonna season all our stuffings here because I just want the flavors of the spiciness, of the sweetness and the saltiness to really sort of like give it like a small marinade. So of course our main is our chili powder. So I have here around 3 tablespoons of chili powder. And some sugar, 2 tablespoons. And some soy sauce, 2 tablespoons as well. And this is some corn syrup, but if you have like agave syrup or rice syrup or honey, even any kinds of syrup, it actually gives a different layer of sweetness compared to the sugar, and also it gives a very nice gloss. So I want to add like 2 tablespoons. Now if you don't have any syrup, nor don't you want to add honey, you can actually increase 1 tablespoon of sugar earlier, so that gives around 3 tablespoons as well. So I'm gonna use around 2 tablespoons of my syrup. And this is my minced garlic, 2 tablespoons as well. So it's just really easy to memorize the ratio. Everything is 2 except for the chili powder, which is 3. And actually we're just gonna toss this up. So this is, as you can see, a very simplified version of tteokbokki compared to the saucy ones that we normally are very accustomed with. So just give it like a stir. So now I'm gonna set this aside because I'm gonna be cutting off my leeks and my sili, which are actually optional ingredients, just for a little bit of a color break later on. So I have here 1 whole leeks, which I've already sliced it up. Let's cut them up very thinly as well. And I have here some sili, a green sili. I'm gonna be using probably around 2. Actually, it's really up to you. If you want very spicy, you can add more. But if you just wanna give for me, my purpose is just to give a little bit of a breakthrough in the spiciness as well as the color. So I'm just probably gonna cut around 2. I'm gonna make it like a diagonal in shape. So now my ingredients are ready. This simple. We're gonna now stir fry our tteokbokki. So I have here like a wok. I need somewhere I can like stir fry them, so not a frying pan probably, so I can like easily mix them up. And so we're gonna add some cooking oil. And I'm gonna add my leeks that I've cut off, chopped earlier, to make the leek oil, which I love to have on my food. And now you can smell the aroma of the leek and the oil. I'm gonna add in our mixture earlier that we've made, the marinated rice cake with our chili powder and other mixtures. So we're gonna deep fry them or actually stir them in oil. So it's really recommended that we cook them in hot oil and stir fry them constantly so it will not be parang dikit-dikit to one another. It will not be sticky to one another. And until you can actually see the oil being drying up and our sauce like fully cooked, and you can smell the aroma and a little bit of a brownish toasted look on our rice cake, then that means our tteokbokki is already ready. So now you can see that my rice cake is being sort of like half toasted. I'm gonna add in my chili, just to give like a breakthrough of a color of green to make it more appetizing. Give it a quick stir fry. Be sure that the rice cake will not be like sticking to one another. Turn off the fire and ready to serve. Here's my fried tteokbokki, and as you've seen, it's very simple and it gives a little bit of an upgrade or a different approach to the traditional tteokbokki that we normally know. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy making this as well in your homes and give it a try. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. It's very chewy, and yet the outside is a little bit of, it has this crispiness from the frying thing, and then the sauce, it has a perfect balance of spiciness, sweetness, and a little bit of kick of a saltiness. But I think it really makes a good delicacy. Actually, tteokbokki is normally like a street food, but I think the way we approach this, it could be a delicacy that we can even serve to our visitors when we have at home. So enjoy!